as because, what is your name?
Shrihan.
Sriman.
Shrihan.
Srihan. So he has already, that inauguration, the chanting he has already done on our behalf. Thank you. So we will start right from the where we left yesterday. Now that story that you may remember, a different situation. The people are killing each other because of their ego. People are leaving, deserting the city. When the Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he is alone sitting and thinking that he should stop his life and so that he can go back to his own abode, and because his all duties are over. Then a devotee came who is Uddhava, and he is asking some questions. And question basically that how I can survive without you. Why? Because righteousness depends on you. That is the main discussion going on. And yesterday we discussed about it. And here we find that Bhagavata, the 12th skandha, that is total 12th skandha, and from the 11th, that Uddhava Gita begins. I am giving this reference so that if you are interested, you can go back to the original book, you can read from there. The 11th skandha and 29 verse, from there the conversation between the Bhagavan Sri Krishna and the Uddhava, it begins. And let us also chant to understand who is this Krishna, who was Vishnu himself. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyai Stavai Vedai Sangha Padakrama Upanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yashyantanam Bidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. This Brahma, Varun, Rudra, Maruta, they are all praising him. Who? That is Vishnu. And as because you all know, the Brahma, the firstborn and the creator, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, Maruta, they are all different gods. How they become gods? Those who are performing very good work, then afterwards they get, but is having still some desires. So they become these gods, including the Indra, the god of gods. And Vedai Sangha Padakrama Upanishadaihi, not only these gods they are praising, worshipping, but at the same time Veda, that is the revelation of the truth, and Upanishada, that is also the Veda. So they are also saying about this particular Supreme Being. Dhyanavastita tad gatena manasa. When the mind of the rishis that goes in the meditation, deep meditation, they see him, pashyantiyam yogina. Yogi, they can see him. He has no limit. Yasya antam nabidu. where it ends, where it begins, no one knows. Bidu, those who are realized people, they don't know. Not only that, gods and also Asuras, they also don't know. I bow down to that Supreme Being. So this is the beginning, giving the introduction of the object whom we are going to realize. That is called Vishnu. As because yesterday we told, we are following the paths of duality, and in the duality it is the Lord Vishnu, and in the Vishnu, the Bhagavan, he is actually everything. So this way they're discussing Bhagavan Sri Krishna, that he was sitting in the Dwarka, in his palace, and then Brahma, Shankara, Indra, these all gods, Sanak, Sananda, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, the brahmacharis, the four brothers, they all came to him and they told that we are grateful that you have performed your duties. To whom? This Supreme Being who has taken the form as Krishna. That same Supreme Being, in the Treta Yuga, he came as Sri Rama and also his brothers, including our Hanuman. So, Dwapara Yuga is as a Krishna. So they have come to thank him, and they told, Brahma said, O Lord, you have already spent more than 100 years. Bhatitaya Panchabingsha Adhikam. Panchabingsha, that is 20 into 5, Adhikam, more than that. Actually 120 years the Krishna lived. So you have already done it, and you have done whatever the gods wanted you to do. Then the Krishna replied, yes, I have done whatever you requested me to do. So the God came because the Brahma requested him. Why Brahma requested? There's a story. Supreme Being, who is now known as Vishnu from the point of view of the dualist, so he wanted to create. And the creation, directly, if he is doing, applying some qualities like the Sattva, Raja, Tama, there is a problem then. The moment you are directly working, you get attached to that and you'll be affected by that. So what happens? You will find nowadays also the officers are representing government decisions. The government has taken a decision that has been given to the officer. Officer is implementing that. In the border, some of the border security forces are there, and they have been given that you should not allow these people to come, but the people, poor people, they like to come crossing the border. Then these forces, these people, these officers, they are present physically, they are stopping them. When something wrong happens, who is responsible? Not the decision maker, is this person. So similarly, in the creation, decision maker is the Vishnu or the Supreme Being. He thought there should be a creation, and he, out of himself, he created Brahma. Same thing, the Vedantin, the non-dualist, they will explain Supreme Being wanted to create, and then he created Hiranyagarbha. And the name is changing, but almost the same process. And when this person, the Brahma, he is creating, how he is creating? Through knowledge and action. What is the knowledge? Veda. So Brahma is having 4 heads. Symbolically, all the knowledge, total knowledge of the Veda he is having. At the same time, he is having Sattva, Raja, Tama, 3 gunas, qualities, out of which he is creating. He is mixing and then creating. In the beginning, it was real good. In the Satya Yuga, he used maximum the Sattva guna, so it was really good. Then the little population increased, so he mixed Raja also and bit of Tama. So the Sri Ramachandra had to come to make that all right, because Ravana, then Bali, The people like Asuras, they all came. Then next again, it is the Krishna had to come. Why? The Brahma mixed Tama a little more. Sattva Rajatama. So he was using this guna. Maybe Tama, he was supposed to mix 1 spoon, he mixed 2. Then it became really difficult. And Tamagunis, they're all against anything good. This is very peculiar. Anything good, they're against that. Why? You ask them, they don't know. But they don't like it. I have noticed some people, the young boys, then they are going, and the middle-aged people, street lamp, nothing to do with them. Street lamp is making that area, and the time of night it is lighted. They will practice another target and throw the stone and break that street light. And then they themselves are stumbling because of the darkness, and then they will complain, the government is not looking after us, they have broken it. So this is very peculiar. And they will be throwing the plastic, and that will clog the flow of the water, and then they will complain the corporation and the local authority, but they have thrown that garbage over there. So they're a very peculiar type of people. So they are tamagunis, always against, always anti. Their number became more, so Brahma became afraid. Oh, God asked me to create, now I have created this type of people, so he started crying. Then the Lord Vishnu appeared before him and said, what? There is no problem, I'll be going. And this time I will go with much more power. And so Krishna came. And this is the time the Krishna, he showed that the God doesn't live in the sky. He can live in human form. Sri Rama never did it. As Sri Rama, Vishnu never showed that. Rather, he used the Hanumana and the Jambuvana and all others to do that. But in the Krishna avatara, he lifted the heel, and then he did this and he did that, lot of miraculous power he had to show to bring the faith in the minds of the people that human form God can be there. And this is the first time Sri Rama never said, go and meditate, go do this and do that. In the whole Ramayana, you will never find. Rama is not talking about that. Why? All people were good. Majority people were good, so it was not necessary. But the Krishna's time, it was necessary. So he was showing very directly that these are the things you must practice. And the fag end of the Krishna's life, we find even after that, the ego is so much, they crept into the minds of his own clan, own people. And Krishna disassociated himself because Kali will come. And what is the Kali? That will punish these people only. So they themselves will suffer in their own hands, the Kali Yuga. So Krishna has done Baditaya Panchavingsha Adhikam. The Brahma said, as per my request, you came and you have spent more than 100 years. I am thankful to you, sir. And the Krishna said, yes, I have done Kritamba Kami Akhilam. Whatever the request that you said that you should please do this, please do that, control these people, that people, I have already done. So why the God is coming? Look at it. At the request of the Creator. When the devotee is there, they request the God to come, the God comes. Otherwise not. So Kritamba Karyam Akhilam. Karyam, all the work, Akhilam, everything, Kritam, I have already done. And he asked the rishis to go to Naimisharanya and others to Prabhasha. The Prabhasha Tirtha, it is in the North India, and Naimisharanya also in the middle of India, that is Madhya Pradesh, still there.
Which one is it? Which one is Naimisharanya?
Naimisharanya in the Madhya Pradesh, you have to go and search. Google, you can ask. He asked his devotee and friend Uddhava also to leave, but the Uddhava was not interested. to leave him. Why? I am not going to leave my God. Wherever the God is, I am there. So this is the way if we can think. And he said, very interestingly, he said, Katham tvam priyam atmanam bayam bhakta tajam hi. You are not only the dear and our soul. How can we leave you? The Uddhava is a very, very important way he is mentioning, O Krishna, you are not only our guide, but you are our soul. I cannot leave my soul. You are me. How can I leave you? So when we are loving God, do you think in this way? The God is my soul and I cannot survive without my soul, without my God? We don't think in that way. So that is called the bhakti. In the devotion, in the bhakti, we have to think God is within me. God is everything. Without God, I cannot take breathing. I will die without that. The one person went to Lord Jesus. He asked how I should pray to God. He said, come, I will show you. He took him to the river and forced his head under the water. And when he was gasping for the air, he left him and said, how you were gasping for the air? That way you should ask for God. Pray to God. Without God, I am dying. That is the ultimate of devotion. And the Hindi, they always use very beautifully. They will say, I called a gentleman. Can I talk to him? वो तो अभी निर्विकल्प समाधि में है. These words, they know, because almost close to Hindi. So the nirvikalpa samadhi, not savikalpa, nirvikalpa samadhi. And how you know that? And the person who is working there, he picked up the phone and he answered. Only using some words, nirvikalpa samadhi mein hai. And you will find the famous lecturers, the speakers, they will always throw the names. And this person said that person said that, and we think, my God, he has read so much. Not only name. Only name and maybe the introduction of that book, that's all. But it will be, and people are impressed by that way. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he practiced that. Then only he came out with some truth. So this is very, very important. Very, very important. They may be, that's why sometimes I use these two words. One is entertainment, another is enlightenment. So when we listen to this type of speakers, orators, very famous orators, they'll be inspiring you because they'll be quoting from these and that, and you'll be really, really inspired. But here, the Uddhava Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, and some of the books like Swami Vivekananda's and Mother's, they are the real gems, real scriptures. Why? Because they practiced it. And then they are propagating. So here the Krishna, when he was asking Uddhava to go away and save your life, he said, life? You are my life. How can I live without you? You are not only my beloved, you are my soul. Then Sri Krishna said, I have done my job, now I should go back to my abode. Maya nispaditam hi atra deva karyam asheshata. Deva karyam. So whatever the gods wanted me to do, atra here, asheshata completely I have performed. Now what is our mission? To complete the God's job. When Swami Vivekananda, you know that in the biography, those who have read Vivekananda's biography, he constantly was going on telling, do this, do that. Then afterwards, when he retired to the Belur Math, he said, I have done my duty. Now it is time that I should go back. Jai Prabhu Jai. In Bengali he said, oh Lord, I am coming back. This is called mission. I have been given something to do, I will complete and go away. No attachment at all. The Krishna, he was organizing such a beautiful way so that all bad people in one camp and all good people in another camp. And he was leading the good people, have a list, and then afterwards that is done. Things are done, and now I should go back. So after the mission, one should go back. Maya nishpaditam hi atra. He means truly. Atra, here, nishpaditam, I have performed. Deva karyam asheshataha. So whatever the gods wanted me to do, I have completely done it. And now I should go. O Uddhava, you also do that. Then he said to Uddhava, Tam tu sarvam parityajya sneham sajana bandhushu. He said, Uddhava, you cannot die because your time has not come. You have still something to perform. You have to continue. But how you will do it? Then he said, why don't you do it in this way? Tvam tu sarvam, tvam, you, tu also, like me, sarvam, everything, parityajya, giving up. What do I should give up? Sneham. The sneha, affection. In Bengali, in one place, I have forgotten that, Upanyasha, there's a story, he said that this is really, the affection is a terrible bondage. Terrible bondage, this affection. And swajana, the relatives, real bondage. Bandhushu, also the friends. So affection or the love, that is the attachment for the relatives and the friends. Give that up and then you come. So please give me one moment, I'm coming down. He was advising the Uddhava that you can also try to do in this way. You practice work, living in this world, but completely unattached. How? Parityajya, giving up, sneham. Sneham, that is affection. If you have tremendous affection, you can never become a monk. I noticed one thing, long back, we were all novices. So one program was going on, and all the brahmacharis and the monks, we were all sitting in the front row, and our senior swamis, they were on the dais, and some of the other dignitaries, they were also there. Then suddenly one very cute little baby, a toddler, came. This is a girl. She came in front of us. Everybody looked at the baby, and obviously they liked. But one of the brahmacharis among us, he went and picked the baby and then was playing with that baby. After some time, one of the senior Swami, he noticed it. Next day, he told him, you better go back home. You'll be a good father, a good uncle, good maternal uncle, but you cannot become a monk. So apparently, this is heartless. It's not heartless. If you have to become a monk, that attachment should not be there. That baby is having her that father, mother, someone to take care. You should not do in that way. So this is, the affection is tremendous attachment. Here we find in the Bhagavata, the Krishna is also asking Uddhava, the sneham bharjana, you have to parityajya bharjana, swajana bandhushu, your own people and also your friends whom you think these are my own people. So that should be given up. So mind cannot survive also, it needs support. Now Krishna knew that without the support, mind cannot survive. The mind is a very peculiar thing. And it is not a tree, but a creeper. A creeper cannot survive without the support of something. The mind also needs something so that mind will hold it. So he is telling, when you are giving away the attachment for your kith and kin, your friends and relatives, then you can put that mind to God. Take the support of the God. Put your mind completely on me. Mayabhishya mana samyak. Samyak, completely. Me avishya. Accepting me. So this is called spiritual training, spiritual practices. Two things are there. One is God, another God's creation. If you want eternal peace, happiness, then you have to go towards God, leaving the God's creation. In Hindi they say, Jahan Ram, tahan nahi kaam. Where there is Rama, there is no desire. Jahan kaam, tahan nahi Ram. So we have to be very clear, the clear message. The Jahan Ram, tahan nahi. If you want God, then you have to give up name, fame, power, all this of this world. And if you want those things, Ram will not be there. God cannot be there. Very clearly he mentioned. So what you should do, Maya Vaishya Mana Samyak. You have to give your mind to me completely. Constantly thinking about God and whatever is happening is because of the gods, and that your thought should constantly rotate on that. So this is the way, otherwise you won't be able to. How you will know that your mind has attached to God? The question, the Uddhava, he is always asking the question, okay, now you are asking me that I should live in this world, and as long as I am living, I will be living with the people but unattached, without any affection, okay. But I cannot live without some support. I am withdrawing my mind from my relatives, from my friends, but where I will keep the mind? Then he said, on me. And then he is asking how I will understand, because I am loving a child or a someone. I am thinking is a human. Obviously, I will be confused. Is it a human or a God? How I will know that I am putting my mind on you? Then he said, you will be same-sighted. Samdrishya. Samyak drishya. Look at it. The spirituality is very clearly defined. You cannot cheat people. If you have studied the scripture, you know who is a holy person. Because how I will know that this person's mind is on God, though he is behaving with everyone, living with everyone, a very natural, normal life. Samdrishti, samyak drishti, that means they will have no difference between me and mine, and you, thou and thine. There are no differences. The sannyasi, he will have his father, mother, his brothers, because he is from a family only. He will have the friends circle, he will be like that. But after becoming a sannyasi, after understanding this truth, the God alone exists, he is living it with them, at the same time living with others with equally, samadrishti sampanna. That is why the sannyasi cannot get attached with the politics. Politics means power grabbing. You cannot think that I am same, and now you are the Prime Minister or the President of America. Now enemies are coming to attack. And if you are a religious man, that spiritual person, you will say, oh, this is all same. Let them come and kill us, no problem. You cannot do that. Immediately you have to retaliate, you have to understand. Second, first thing, as a President of America, you should think about America only, first, then others. You cannot have the samadrishti. It is only for the monks. So that is also, we have to understand, this is called, we will come to that, Krishna will discuss about that, Swadharma. Swadharme nidanam sreya. Swadharma, your own duty. As a monk, you have a duty. But as a householder, you have separate duty. Now, we were discussing how to survive. Krishna's advice, you live in this world, but unattached. Okay? But how I will keep my mind, because I need someone to depend on, on me. How I will know that I am truly depending on you? Samyak drishti. That you are equal to everyone, whoever comes, whether your own, and that's why the Swamis, Sannyasis are not supposed to tell about their previous life. He was my father, mother, they are not supposed to. Rather, they should go away from them. But sometimes people don't understand. So they think this is a bachelor life only we are living. And the professor and the bachelor life, it is not. And they will be studying, they will be giving talks, they will be writing books, but living with all others. So I am not married, so I am a sannyasi. And at the same time, no, it is not. Sannyasi is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult and unthinkable. So that is the reason that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he discarded, he said that you should not come to me, because one of his disciples, so he was begging from a lady because she could cook properly, nicely. And other food that some people used to give, that was not tasty. So he thought that Chaitanya Dev will like the tasty food. So he used to go and collect food from that lady. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after eating 1 or 2 days, he understood the difference. The previous food was not that tasty. And what is suddenly, and the food is very tasty, so where from you are collecting? Oh, that lady is there. She is a good cook and devotee. Only you are going to her? Yes, because it's not necessary to go others. They can't cook properly. No samadrishti. You are going to that person who can cook and you are getting satisfaction. But the others, they want to serve you, but they are not good in that. No samadhi. So immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, you should not serve me. Go away from me. That is, the sannyasa means very different, very, very different. So he was telling the sammadrik. The Sanskrit is sammadrik means samadrishti sampanna. And how to know sammadrik? O Uddhava, it is not very difficult to practice. He is encouraging Uddhava. Oh, so it's so difficult to be sammadrishti and all that. He said, no, not very difficult. Just remember, whatever you experience through Gyanendriya are Maya Monomaya. Whatever experience you are gathering through Gyanendriya. What are the Gyanendriyas? 5. Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva and Tak. From the eye we see and we get an idea. Oh, it is like this. From the smell we get an idea. From the words we get an idea. From the taste we get an idea. Whatever with these 5 senses you are collecting, these are all monomaya. See, though it is the dualistic scripture, but teaching us pure Advaita. So this is the very interesting way. And he said, Yadidam manusa bacha chakshuvam sarvanadivihi nashwaram. All that you see through these sense organs are nashwara. Nashwara means they are going to be destroyed. So obviously that which is going to be destroyed, why you are putting your whole mind on that? It's a wastage of time. Don't do that. This is the basis of spiritual life. But what we do, we think the spiritual life means I am protected by God. So nothing will happen to me. It is nothing like that. It is a completely transformation from this life to a very, very higher life. Uddhava was himself a realized soul. Uddhava was asking not for himself, he was asking for us, ordinary people. He was a realized soul. He was not asking for himself but for the ordinary people who will be leaving after Sri Krishna and in Kali Yuga. So he said, O Lord, there are people who can save themselves from the clutches of Maya. I am not thinking about them, but how ordinary people, the householders, can practice and can get realization. Please tell that. When the Krishna is asking this, it is not possible for the ordinary people. Now, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, only one negative and nothing in his life. He said, after the death, when the Hindus are performing Shraddha, don't eat that rice, Shraddha Anna. Why? When they offer that particular food, it is Anna, means rice, they cook and they offer it. Why? So that the other people who will be eating that, they think in this way, whatever the bad karma that person has done all through his life will be shared among these people. So we are so happy with the rasgulla and we are eating, but actually you are sharing all his bad karma. So already we are burdened with our own bad karma. And then if that also added, so it will be difficult. So he said it is better to avoid. Now the practical problem. Someone called me and said, this is a very close relative. So what shall I do? I must have to go. And if I say I want 3-4 days, I have to stay there. Relatives. I have to eat. I cannot go out and eat and come and stay. That is not possible. So what to do? So whatever I felt, I would offer it to God and then take. When you are offering it to God, it is becoming prasad. And then take that. Mentally, that will be all right. So there is a funny story. Then one person, the ego, how it actually goes in such a way that there are two friends. They were their neighbors also, almost very close houses. In Calcutta and others, the houses are almost attached. So one friend's mother passed away. So all of them, they went to the cremation ground. And it is the tradition that those who goes to the cremation ground, after a few days, I think 7 days or some days, then you have to call them and feed them. Shashana Bandhu. Because they were the people who went with you to the last time. So Shashana Bandhu. And then suddenly, he noticed the other people are coming in that house because they were feeding, but that friend has forgotten about him. He was so close, he was next door, they forgotten about him. He has not invited him. But he was eager to go there. And he felt insulted. He went on the terrace and shouted, well, this time you have not invited me. I too have my mother. So he forgot what actually he was telling. That means he was indicating that when my mother passed away, I will also not invite you. This time you are not inviting me. So our mind works in that way. Ego is terrible in that way. So we must be very, very careful. So here, when he was asking, sir, I understood what you are asking me to do. For me, it is okay. Some people who are intelligent, who are capable, for them is also okay. But what about the ordinary people, what they should do? Then the Lord Krishna is telling, O Uddhava, anyone through buddhi, through yukti, through lakshana and anumana, they can realize God. 4 things. First is buddhi, intellect. that we call mind in English. The mind is only one thing. But in Sanskrit they say mind has 4 different parts. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahamkar. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahamkar. These are the 4. And Mana is that part which is constantly dwindling and cannot take decision. Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmika, Manaha. Sankalpa, shall I do it or shall I not? So when it goes on, that particular part of mind is called Mana. A Buddhi, determinative faculty, then I am going to do it, that's all. You will find that some people, they will appreciate Buddhi. Oh, this man is very intelligent. Why? He can take decision. And after that, Mana, Buddhi, Lakshana is a sign. After seeing that what is happening, he can understand, he should understand. And Anumana, inference. Through inference only, you have to. So these 4 you have to apply to realize God. The first is Buddhi, intellect. I have seen my great-grandfather, he lived this life. Then next, then next, then next. Till my father, same thing is going on, repeating. We are growing up, then we are marrying, settling down, and then we are becoming old and one dying and leaving our siblings. Again from there, same thing is going on. Why should we repeat the same thing all through? The first is the Buddhi, the intellect, start judging. When you start judging, it is all temporary. So when I went to see that Red Fort, many times I said that, and the Red Fort, and we went on the top of the Red Fort from where the Prime Minister gave the talk, over there. Then I was looking outside and looking that ditch also outside that fort. In those days, they used to have a big ditch and full of water and crocodiles. So the people trying to come in, they will fall over there and the crocodiles will. So the thousands of Maratha soldiers came to enter into that Red Fort. They couldn't do, they died over there. Then came from the Rajasthan, all the heroes of Rajasthan. They couldn't enter. And now, in the modern time, you just purchase a ticket by 10 rupee in that time. Now it has increased maybe. So 10 rupee and you enter. The Marathas heroes couldn't do. And the Rajasthan heroes couldn't do. But now, so time has changed. That means it is all temporary. It's all temporary. We think it is so important, so temporary. White House now you cannot go near it. Maybe a time will come when they will call you. Do you like to visit White House? Please come. Only $2. It will be like that only. So it's so temporary. When you go and look at the palaces, the castles, and colosseums, we don't think that these are all temporary things. That is called Buddhi, and that is also called Lakshana. What is Lakshana? It was a colosseum. And here the gladiators, they used to come and this had to happen. Now only some ruins, nothing is there. Nothing is there. So everything changes. And when everything changes, then why should I be so much interested to stick to that? It will change only. 2 brothers, they were so close to each other. Then they were married, then separation, so naturally separate family. Then the parental property, that also came in between. So 2 brothers became 2 enemies. All this way went on. Then when one brother, he was telling, I will hire some people and will kill you. Next day he died. Suddenly, some heart attack and something happened, he passed away. The day he threatened, and he was so excited, he himself passed away. It's so unimportant. So now what will happen? The whole property now ruined. There is no one. His children are not interested in that property. and his children are also, one son was there, he also passed away, and nothing is there. So that is ruin. We see every time. So he says, intellect, you have to apply, you have to understand. And yukti, analysis. Oh, every day this is happening. Lakshana, science, yes. Every time I see here and there, every time it is. 1893, only one Indian was here. That is Swami Vivekananda. Now, 2024, the American, they're assessing, this is 1/8 of the total population is Indian now. Everywhere. Doctors, engineers, and higher students and all that, Indians. When Swamiji came, he wanted to bring only one educated lady to prove them that our ladies are also educated. He couldn't find one. He found only one lady, Sharalabala Devi, the niece of Rabindranath Tagore, and she also could not come. And now, look around. And Swami Vivekananda must be very happy seeing all our educated ladies. They're doing everything. They're highly qualified. They're managing their offices, at the same time maintaining their household. And wonderful. So things changes in this way. So this we have to understand. Now, when we started our Vedanta societies, there was no Indian devotees, only American devotees. Then American devotees, as they follow in the churches, they go only on Saturday or maximum Sunday. All days from Monday to Friday or Saturday closed. Only Sunday. The Sunday is the God took rest, so these people also, they also come, and in the rest day they will go to the churches. But now the changes, they're all mostly Indians. And Indian means the temple. And temple means it should be open 24 hours. The God should not sleep. Why God should sleep? So any time I have time, I will go and visit God. You have to keep the door open. If you are not, they'll be banging and then pushing the bell. Hey, what is it? It is a temple. Why you have closed it? So now, here in America, some of our centers are in difficulty because they are not understanding what we should do now. Time changing. Those people were different now. So when we see the Lord Krishna, how nicely he is mentioning that you have to understand this thing in 4 different ways. What? Intellect, buddhi. You have to understand this. Yukti, analysis. Well, things are changing. Diaspora are changing. So what I should do now? Lakshana, the signs all around. Everything is in different way. Anumana, inference. This is going to happen. If you can't, then you are making a great mistake. Sometimes some leaders, they come. They are wonderful speakers. They will carry away the whole mind. But they are not genuine people. If you don't understand that, then you are in great trouble. How I will understand? Oh, this type of thing happened in Second World War. And some of the leaders, they were also great speakers, like Mussolini, like the Hitler. They were great speakers. And people used to get mesmerized with their words, and we are going to be the best. Nowadays, some people are also giving the same way. I will make you the best. We are already best, and what best? Good, better, best. And above that, best squared 2, it is not there. So it's not necessary. So what we are going to do? I have to see this man never ever kept his promises. And this leader, I have given him a lot of chances. But as a leader, he could not prove his worth. And he has not kept his words. Now the promises that he is making is sure that he is not going to keep it. If I misunderstand this, fail to understand this, I will suffer. Who can help me? This is my decision. So one has to be very, very careful. So some people said that and I carried away with that. Oh, look at it, somebody said this. Whether it has happened or not, nobody knows. But we are going on in that. So one should be very careful. So Lord said 4. What first? Buddhi, intellect. Second, yukti, analysis. You must have the clear mind. You know that when we were very young, and there were communist movement and these things. So the communist countries, and they used to sing that we are one with this, one with that. And the South America, and then some of the names I am not mentioning here. So they used to say like that, and some of the young boys, our friends and little above our elder brothers like that, so they were very much enthusiastic. I told, so look at it. No one from the America or Great Britain or West Germany going to these countries. No one deserting their own country and going over there. But those people, the moment they get a chance, they will take the asylum in America and in England and in West Germany. Why? Because these places are good. So obviously, you have to have that analysis, and you have to understand the inference. These people are not living in a good way, so no one wants to go there. The people always like to go in a place where they can live happily. They will never go to a place where they are suffering. Then for 1 or 2 only, they will go with a great encouragement and that wrong enthusiasm. We will go and fight in the desert, and then afterwards they suffer. So these 4 is very, very important. And he said, yukti. A time came when all over the India and also the outside also, Hindus, there was a Ganesha is drinking milk. So that you must be remembering that. Everywhere Ganesha drinking milk. Why suddenly Ganesha started drinking milk? Actually, previously never happened. Afterwards never happened. Suddenly maybe that excess milk production was there, they wanted to sell. I don't know. I'm just, so my Ganesha drinking milk. Then 2 ladies, I was in Andaman that time, 2 ladies, they were very close friends, the officers' wives, and they went very enthusiastically. And when they were going, they asked me, Swamiji, are you not going to the temple to feed the milk to the Ganesha? I am not getting milk for my coffee, and now, why should I give it to Ganesha? Then they went. Afterwards, suppose the one lady, she thought the Ganesha has drank milk from her offering. But then her friend, she was pouring also, but it came out as if Ganesha didn't take it. So she commented before everyone, that is also our weakness. The Indians, we can't control. We don't know what to say and what. Before others, she told, you must have committed some sin, that's why Ganesha is not drinking from your hand. And that was the last nail to break. So obviously, she also became very angry and stopped talking to her. Then after some days, that 2 of them, they came and told, Swamiji, you are a neutral person. Tell us, what is wrong? I told, I don't know but what I can understand, if the Ganesha is drinking milk from your hand, that means you become the mother of Ganesha, Parvati. And Parvati is a Devi, and Devi must be respected and loved by everyone. Before becoming this Devi, you were friends. And after becoming the Devi, you are fighting. Is it not better not to become Devi? Be ordinary lady and become friends. So effect. So if you don't have that way, it will be very, very difficult. So yukti, analysis is very important. Lakshana. Then afterwards, Lakshana of the sadhu, how you will understand that he is a holy person. It's very difficult to understand holy person because he's all inside and he is looking at the sky, not talking, and he is not the shaving, and also the nails are also big. oh, look at it, he is constantly connected with the God. He can't talk properly, that's why. It may be. And then what is the sadhu lakshana? This? No. So these also we have to understand. Anumana, inference also. Then Bhagavan said, and I think we should stop here. It's 10 to 11, right?
Yes.
And we started 10:10, so now 11:10, we will stop now. Bhagavana, he mentioned about the Abhaduta. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he mentioned about the Abhaduta. The first he said, you can judge yourself and can live without, you don't need me. Then he said, from the nature also you can learn, You need not to depend on me, the Krishna. Nature will teach you. So, what the nature will teach you? He said the story of King Yadu and Abhaduta. So, we will discuss that from the 11:30, okay?